If you say you're going to work twice as hard as everyone else, you'd expect to succeed twice as fast, right? But according to the master in this story, putting in double the effort means it will take double the time. Why would an intense, burning desire for success actually become your biggest obstacle? The impatient student. A young man carrying a burning desire to become a martial arts master traveled a long way to find a renowned teacher. The moment they met, the young man bowed and couldn't hide his eagerness. "Master, I want to become a great martial artist. If I practice diligently, how long will it take?" The master smiled calmly. "About 10 years. The young man frowned. That number was far beyond his expectations. "What if I work twice as hard as the others? I will wake up earlier, train longer, and endure more pain." The master remained composed. 20 years. Astonished, the young man asked, "Why longer? What if I never take a day off and do nothing but eat, sleep, and train? What if I dedicate my entire life to martial arts?" The master looked deeply into his eyes and spoke slowly. "When one of your eyes is fixated solely on the destination, you only have one eye left to see the path. A person who is too impatient will overlook the foundation, ignore their mistakes, and lose themselves. If you want to go fast, you must first learn to walk correctly." The young man didn't truly understand. On his first day, he eagerly expected to learn powerful kicks or secret techniques to defeat opponents. But no, the master only instructed him to hold a basic horse stance. Days, weeks, and then a whole month passed. The only exercise was to stand firmly, keep his back straight, and regulate his breathing. No techniques, no sparring. Watching other students practice with swords and fists, he grew restless and confronted his master. "When will I get to learn real martial arts?" The master simply asked in return, "If your legs aren't steady, how will you stand when an opponent pushes you? If your breathing is chaotic, how will you stay calm in a fight? If your mind is always rushing, how will you ever spot your opponent's flaws?" Reluctantly, the young man returned to the yard. Sometimes he would secretly mimic the punches and kicks of others, but with just a slight twist, his feet would slip. After a few strikes, he would lose his breath and balance. The master never scolded him, only quietly saying, "Go back to your stance." By the third month, he began to notice a shift. His legs no longer trembled. His breathing was deep and steady. Strangely, when watching others spar, he could anticipate their strikes just from a subtle movement in their shoulders or eyes. One afternoon, the master quietly approached from behind with a small bamboo stick and unexpectedly swung it down. Acting on pure instinct, the young man perfectly leaned and dodged the strike. The master smiled. "Do you see? I haven't taught you a single technique, yet your body has already started teaching itself." The young man had an epiphany. He realized that true strength doesn't come from flashy moves, but from legs sturdy enough to stand, breathing steady enough to remain calm, and a mind quiet enough to observe. Years later, having become a highly respected master himself, he always remembered that lesson. The master didn't make him slow down to waste his time. He made him slow down so he wouldn't walk the wrong path. In life, the biggest barrier to growth isn't always laziness. Sometimes it's impatience. We often mistakenly believe that running fast will get us to the finish line sooner, forgetting that a shaky foundation will eventually collapse the whole building. Greatness isn't born from flashy skills, but stems from the persistent refinement of the absolute basics. When you actively slow down to focus on each step, that is exactly when you are building an unshakable strength. Have you ever been so desperate for immediate results that you accidentally ruined your own process of hard work?